welcome to Rev Sports. I'm Gargi Raut and I'm joined by Boria Majumdar. We're both outside of the Edgbaston Stadium, and yesterday we went through one of the most interesting press conferences.
Did you see what is happening behind the screens?
I did not.
The moment you said Edgbaston Stadium and you emphasized those two are sledging you.
For
you
what?
Must see, because you spoke like that Edgbaston Stadium. Your people are continuously sledging you from the slips. This is your Indian team. Look at them.
Apna time aayega.
Ryan Tendulkar का time आ गया था कल.
No, but yesterday one of the most interesting press conferences that we've been through.
Everyone's playing.
Everyone is playing according to Ryan Tendulkar. Akashdeep is playing. Jasprit is available.
Arshdeep is likely. Nitish close to getting a game.
Every single player that you asked about, Ryan said they've been playing.
I know
good.
why he said it. I know why he said it. It was his birthday.
Oh.
He was giving everybody a gift. All of them cut a cake for him. Unfortunately, the media did not. They should have also cut a cake for him.
We would have gotten a cap.
He would have given everybody. Rohan was about to get a cap as well.
But
he didn't say anything.
He said a lot of things, but he said nothing. That's how it is. That was
one takeaway from India's practice session.
The biggest takeaway is that Ryan Tendulkar said nothing while saying everything. So that's what happened. But
I saw headlines within 1 hour of the Ryan Tendulkar press conference. Is Jasprit Bumrah playing? Come on, boss. Anybody who watched that practice session would know that Jasprit Bumrah is highly unlikely to play. He was not bowling at the main nets. He was not there, and he came in much later. Now the fielding coach comes and says he's available. Of course he's available. He's not injured. If that means he's playing, no, he's not. He's absolutely not. And that is the whole point, that he's going to rest. All of us know he's going to play 3. Gautam has made it very clear. We've done the story, so why are you saying it? If you're trying to mislead, the English, you're trying not to give anything, you're trying to sort of keep everything closed doors, that's the only explanation.
That's the only explanation. And I think Ryan was sort of bluffing there. He was, like we said multiple times, he does not want to reveal. Why would he want to come out match day -2 and give out his playing 11?
England has. Why can't you? What is the big deal?
Because that's never been India's thing. Yeah. That's never been India's thing, and they don't want to do it. Their choice. It's not like anyone's forcing them, but at the same time, we're going to be talking about our 5 takeaways. One of the biggest one has been obviously the Ryan press conference, which was funny because by the end, everyone was laughing because everyone is likely to play.
Everyone thought he's given them news points. Spinner bhi khel sakta hai, ye bhi khel sakta hai.
I was in that room, and as soon as he left, everyone started talking about who are the 2 spinners who will make it, what is the combination. He did not say that 2 spinners will play. He was talking about how likely the conditions are, or how conducive the conditions are for the likelihood of 2 spinners making it to the team. That's what he was saying. He didn't say that we are playing 2 spinners. That's what the point is. But the rest of the 4 talking points that we need to talk about, key takeaways. What is your biggest takeaway from tonight?
Something that we've been saying for the last 5 days, that Yashasvi Jaiswal will possibly not field in the slip cordon or in the gully area where he was fielding at Leeds. And that was evident yesterday, and you can see these visuals. We've done a story a couple of hours earlier. Gargi did a PTC as well. You can go back and check the story at 10. And this is in some detail. She's explained it. The first slip was Karun Nair, second was KL Rahul, third was Shubman Gill, and fourth was Sai Sudarshan. So that was one key takeaway, that it was a news point that we've been talking about for the last 5 days, that Jaiswal will possibly field in the outfield, take some catches, exactly what happened. So when you get a news right, it was good. Our news point was vindicated. In fact, the moment that happened, Rohit Juglan walked up to both of us and said, "Sir, aap jo keh rahe the, aap log jo keh rahe the, waise hi ho raha hai." So that was one fundamental takeaway.
The other takeaway that I want to talk about, this is our 3rd takeaway of this video, is adding to that point, that slip cordon, Nitish Kumar Reddy being there. And also Karun Nair, you have to remember that when...
So you reckon Karun's playing?
Yes, 100%. 100%. There is no way, and I don't see this ever happening, that match day -2, Indian management will have a Karun Nair in the first slip position, practicing for about 20 minutes with him not having any chance of playing or making it to the playing 11.
Our network has a cartoon element writ large as we are recording this, as we are doing this, all of a sudden Devashish starts walking and Trisha and Rohan are like, Mama, don't go there, which you guys can't see. That's the backstage.
And this always happens when I'm trying to make a serious point.
That hardly happens. See, they are again sledging.
No, come on, you can't sledge.
Why? Why can't they sledge you?
No. You can't sledge, they can sledge.
Anyway, so go the She said gravitas. Okay, but what was the Nitish Reddy point?
Okay, the Nitish Reddy point here is...
So you reckon Karun's playing, Nitish is also playing?
Yes. So the reason I bring this point up is because when you think of the playing combination, because we want to see a Kuldeep Yadav making it to the team, which is looking very likely at this point, looking at how Kuldeep Yadav and how intense his practice session was.
He bowled for a long time.
He bowled for a very long time, and if he's making it to the team, most likely people were thinking of that it would be Karun Nair who would go out, Nitish Kumar Reddy would play in his place, and Shardul Thakur would go out, and Kuldeep would play in his place. But now that you're seeing Karun Nair, Nitish Kumar Reddy and Sai Sudarshan in that slip cordon, match day -2, I think it's Ravindra Jadeja who might have to sit out and Kuldeep Yadav comes in.
That's an interesting talking point we've been, sort of debating since yesterday. And Gargi kind of makes this point forcefully. And I do think she has a point here. I absolutely do see where she's coming from. And because, look, and Trisha and I, we were discussing this, you were there off camera, that she reckons Karun Nair will sit out. And my point to her was the same thing that you said, that you reckon 2 days before, when you're doing an intense slip catching drill, your team has dropped 6 catches and you have somebody field in that first slip position for 20-25 minutes who you will eventually sit out. It doesn't make any sense.
Unless India is doing something complete, is playing a hand that we don't know.
Then KL could have fielded first slip. Shubman could have fielded second slip. Sai could have fielded third slip. Why Karun? To put somebody in the first slip position when that fellow is not in the scheme of things or when that fellow is not playing.
Very unusual.
Highly unlikely. Again, this is something you are watching this broadcast at 12 noon. We will again try and give it to you because India will practice today local time 1:30, which is India time 5:36 p.m. Obviously, we will be there and we will update you with every possible development. But I agree with her. I don't see Karun Nair sitting out. I don't, based on the fielding drill. Having said that, based on the Ryan Tendishkata press conference, Trisha and the rest of us, they believe that Karun Nair might sit out. So that's what Ryan Tendishkata has done. He's completely confused everybody.
Confused the hell out of everyone.
Himself. I don't know. Does Ryan Tendishkata really know what he was saying? Who knows? It was his birthday, so everything is permitted. Okay, Rohan says only Devashish knows. No, Devashish doesn't. Devashish was with me shooting the Eric Holly story at that point.
But anyway, Ryan really has confused the hell out of us. Because what did he say?
That was another talking point.
Yes, Jasprit Bumrah.
Give the lowdown on Jasprit Bumrah. Exactly what he did. People need to know. Jasprit, in that entire training session, all that he did, when he came in from the fielding drill to the little bowling that he did, talk about it.
Yes, I think one of the most interesting parts. Now, Jasprit Bumrah started off his practice session with the team. You had your warm-up, you had your mobility drills, then you had your fielding session as well, which lasted a good 20 minutes. Ground fielding.
More also, maybe.
Then they separated and started
doing catching and all of that, right?
Started doing their specific drills. But after all of that was over, you could see a Gautam Gambhir and Jasprit Bumrah walking out of the ground, heading towards that little walk from the one end of the stadium to the dressing room was one of the longest chat that the two have had in this practice session. And we kept talking about, convince kare yaar, khel lo, please khel lo. Now, we don't know what really went on in that conversation, but it was a very long chat. And after that, when they actually went to the net sessions, Jasprit Bumrah had one of the lightest sessions that I have seen throughout this tour. Because
I totally agree.
Yeah, this is the lightest that we've seen Jasprit Bumrah bowl. He wasn't bowling full tilt. He wasn't bowling with his full run-up. And he was actually it wasn't intense at all. Compared to what we saw ahead of that first test match in Leeds, this was nothing.
I tend to agree. So that the takeaway from that is, however much Jasprit Bumrah might be available, none of us believe that he's playing.
Nah.
So the Jasprit Bumrah takeaway is Jasprit Bumrah is certainly resting at Edgbaston and will be back full tilt at Lords, and thereafter certainly will play Manchester. So those will give him his 3, and then based on where the series is, the final call about the Oval can be taken. Rishabh Pant, one of the most interesting bits when the rest of the team had moved on to the nets to bat. The tennis ball practice, the way he trained for close to 20 minutes separately with T. Dilip was brilliant to see. Talk.
Now, I think before that as well, that blind catching drill that he was doing with T. Dilip, where one of these barricades was taken inside the stadium, was inside the ground. Over it was a black cloth, and the little space that you see on the bottom, a slider was kept over there, and T. Dilip would throw the balls on the slider. So the person on the other hand had no idea what was coming at them, and it was a very instinctive catching drill, and Rishabh Pant did that for a very long time along with the rest of the slip cordon. But after all of that was over, a good 20-30 minutes of slip catching, then when the rest of the team has moved on to the net session, Rishabh Pant stays back. T. Dilip, there is one single stump in front of Rishabh Pant. Rishabh Pant is keeping close to the stumps, and T. Dilip was hitting the balls on the ground, tennis balls, with the tennis racket, and it was very intense. It was a very intense practice session. He was taking some really good catches. He was missing a few as well because it was so high paced. But the aim of the drill, and you could tell, was to keep Rishabh Pant as low to the ground as possible.
Yeah, and you could sense that because he was hitting really hard with tennis balls. So Pant was trying to get up as late because that's what wicket keeping is all about. 182 overs of wicket keeping is a real load. And then you go on and get 200s. That was absolutely fantabulous from Rishabh Pant. That was an intense training drill that Gargi just described to you. And again, to see Rishabh Pant and the medical miracle, and then to see him train like this gives you enormous amount of joy. And then I had that brief little chat when he was coming out, and I told him that the 200s at this workload, and he's one of the most humble people. He's one of the most humble people that you will see. Beautiful guys, really sweet guy. And he said, पूरा कोशिश यही रहेगा मैच जीतने का और यहाँ एक-एक करने का. All of us will give. So you can see that there is intent. There is desperation to win. That same desperation you saw in Mohammad Siraj.
Yes.
You saw that in Mohammad Siraj. You saw that in Rishabh Pant. You saw that in the team. So the team knows that they were close in leads. They know that they had opened the door. They unfortunately weren't able to close the door. And that's what India needs to do in Birmingham. Mohammad Siraj, that's my last talking point. Talk to me about that.
Mohammad Siraj looked very, very good. And more than, we will keep talking about what happened in the net session, how he was bowling, what are the line and lengths he was bowling. He was bowling very disciplined lines. But what stood out to me was his mindset today. I think he looked very, very determined to bowl well. He kept saying, should I say this? He came out and was walking past us when
बहुत लोगों ने बहुत कुछ बोल दिया.
बहुत लोगों ने बहुत कुछ बोल दिया. ये गेम मेरा है.
And you could sense
he has that confidence. He's oozing that confidence right now.
And he bowled very well in the training session.
He bowled very well. That's what I'm saying. He bowled very disciplined lines, and the fact that he came out and said all of that to us, I think it really showed how desperate Mohammad Siraj is to perform well and to show and to prove to the rest of the world and his critics that he belongs in that team.
Absolutely, and one thing that can just go in favor of Mohammad Siraj. Every time there is a Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Siraj knows he's the support cast.
Yeah.
But take Australia, take Brisbane, take that entire series, Mohammad Siraj was given leadership role. And Mohammad Siraj knew there is no Jasprit Bumrah cover. He had to step up and do it for India. No Jasprit Bumrah at Edgbaston will mean Mohammad Siraj will be the leader of that bowling pack. He knows he will have that additional responsibility. I think from his body language at the nets and the brief conversation that one had, the way he bowled at the nets, everything taken together. Even in the last test match, that Ben Duckett drop at 97, that was a really good spell. A fiery spell from Mohammad Siraj. Jaiswal dropped that catch. It is possible. It is possible. Those were our 5 takeaways. Let us leave you let us leave you, all our team, each one of them. Debashish had taken some really good visuals of the slip cordon. We have taken some really good visuals of Rishabh Pant and his training drill that the two of us have spoken about. We have obviously taken a lot of the batting that we've been telling you about. So here, and the visuals. By the way, there is an ambulance there, that's why the sound. These are the visuals which Amit Shah had captured of the Indian training plan. So we leave you with all of these visuals. Rishabh Pant, special training. Amit Shah has captured this visual of the Indian training plan, and of course, the visual that Gargi and Debashish were taking of the Indian slip cordon. We will be back today, exactly around 5 o'clock, once again, from the Edgbaston cricket ground. That's when the Indian team is supposed to come. And then from 6 p.m. India time, it is their final optional training session leading into the test match day after, which is match day -1. So another few hours for India's final training session with a hugely important test match in 24 hours from now. Keep watching our coverage. Back us, support us, because this is the most extensive in Bangla, in Hindi, and in English. If you've not subscribed to the platform, do so. And also the fun and banter, because 3 slip fielders are waiting behind the camera to sledge Gargi Raut.
और ये कमाल का फुटबॉल मैच चल रहा है। दो मंजे हुए खिलाड़ी ऋषभ पंत और अर्शदीप सिंह, very strong players, strong and experienced, अपनी फुटबॉल की स्किल दिखाते हुए सबको डराते हुए कि कहीं ये क्रिकेट से फुटबॉल में शिफ्ट ना कर जाए। राहुल मीडिया पे नज़र रखते हुए, जसप्रीत बुमराह कैंगरू बनते हुए, जडेजा भागते हुए, वॉशिंगटन सुंदर भाग के निकल गए इंडिया के लिए।
অরণি পুরোটাতে রাহুল এসছে ভালো, এবার একটু জুম দেখি। ইয়োর ফ্রেন্ড রাহুল রাওয়াত, ও ওই তো, এবার তো জুম দেখা কুড়ি বেলা হয়।
हाँ हाँ सर।
1 घंटे
हाँ सर जा चुके.
Mate, get you hydrated.
Let me tell you now, you've got my permission. 3 days like this, right, and he's not around and no one's welcome. Go, as many bottles as you want, see, go into it, and he'll go into it.
What about cider? What about cider? A beer? And a frosty one?
You just try helping some people, John. That's
Yeah, well, that's fine.
There's no point. I should just walk straight past, shouldn't I?
His legs are sweating. You spinning it? Yeah.
Well, if the tip will spin it, yeah. The more you turn that wheel inwards, the more the front will just tip on you.
Just spin that down.
It's like getting a nosebleed.
That's putting something on this group chat, mate.